Sorry, there were some connection issues again. So sharing my screen again. Can you please repeat the question? Someone was asking.
Yeah, Kashish. So like after we have run the same code, and if we repeated the code by adding a and condition and putting the amount as salary as 400,
Hmm.
so it has given 1300 because it was previously executed once the same kind of query. So
So
what if for the first time it is not falling within the mentioned condition? Will it show blank?
it will give us an error. Let me explain why. So when we are entering 400, so is this condition meeting the criteria? Tell me. Suppose
No,
we
it's
are
not
run
meeting the criteria.
so we are running for the first time, so definitely it will not meet the condition. So this
Not meeting it.
this CTC variable will not be created as per this condition, right?
Mhm.
Then it will come to
Yes.
elif block. So if this is this condition meeting? Yes, it is meeting. But is this condition meeting? No. So this condition, we are using AND operator, so this condition will be false. Then this CTC variable again will not be created. So in the memory, CTC variable will not exist. And when we are trying to print your annual CTC is this variable CTC, this will throw out an error, something like CTC doesn't define, is not defined, something like that. So I can show you if I restart the kernel and clear output. Maybe I can just restart the kernel. You can see the status above once it is restarted.
Mm.
So now it is ready. Let's execute this statement again, this program, and let's enter maybe 400. You can see name error, that name CTC is not defined because both the conditions were false. That's why it hasn't created CTC variable, and we are still trying to print CTC. That's why it is giving us this error.
Got it. Got it. Thanks.
Yeah. Moving to next question. Now there are some multiple conditions, as I told that there can be only if statement and there can be only else statement, but there can be multiple elif statement within this if else block. So let's now understand how this program is working. Again, we are taking the monthly salary as input and we're converting into integer. Then we are placing a condition that if monthly salary is less than 10,000, this is the first case, and we are saying that CTC is computed as per this condition, and it will print out the CTC. Similarly, next condition says if monthly salary is greater than equal to 10,000 and less than 40,000, basically between 10,000 to 40,000, then it will compute the CTC as per this formula. And if the CTC is greater than 40,000 and less than 80,000, which means between 40 to 80,000, then it will compute the CTC as this. Otherwise, whatever other values we will put which will not meeting this criteria in all of these three conditions, then it will come to else block, which means if the salary is greater than 80,000, we haven't mentioned the condition here specifically, so it will come to else block. So whatever is left, it comes to the else block, and in else block we have mentioned that salary multiplied by 12 minus monthly of salary. Like for the lower segment we are giving a bonus, for the upper segment we are cutting their salary, like monthly salary. Likewise we are having these days in lockdown due to COVID-19, and then we are saying your annual CTC is this and you are earning too much, something like this. So if I run this, now let's try some of the examples. Let me enter maybe 1,000. So let's see how it executed. First of all, if else block starts from here, it will check if monthly salary is less than 10,000. So yes, it is true. So then it has printed first case, which is this. Then it has computed CTC variable as per this formula, which is 1,000 plus 1,000 into 12, which is 12,000 plus 1,000, which is 13,000. And this statement is printed and my program is completed. Once the condition is true, it will not move to other conditions. It will not check other conditions. So we have to maintain the sequence at which we want to check the conditions. Okay, let's check another example. Maybe we are entering 90,000. So in this case, what will happen? It will check first of all if monthly salary is less than 10,000, it is false. Monthly salary is greater than 10,000, this is true. But we have used AND operator, so this condition should also be true. So let's check monthly salary is less than 40,000, this is false. So this is true, this is false, the answer will be false since we are using AND operator. But if we would have used OR operator, then this would have returned true, because OR says either of the conditions should be true, then it is fine for me. So in that case, this ellipse block will be executed if I use OR here. Okay. The next condition says monthly salary is greater than 40,000 and less than 80,000. This is also false because this condition is fulfilling my criteria, but this is false. So AND says both the conditions should be true, otherwise I cannot process your answer. So finally, all of these conditions have not met the criterias. It will come to else block because there is nothing left for this 90,000 parameter. So it will process the CTC as per this formula, which should be 90,000 into 12, which makes it like 1080 and 000, something like that, and minus 1 month salary, which is 90,000. And then we will print out this message. Let's see the result. It is processing. I'm not sure why it is taking time. This is bad. This should not take this much time. Okay, let me just clear the output and restart the kernel. We can try it again. Okay, kernel is ready now. We can try it again. This was the, yeah, this was the question. Now let us run it and enter 90,000 and enter. Now you can see your annual CTC is 9,90,000 and you are earning too much. So is this question clear? And now you can see if you are trying to relate something to like front end, maybe there are some, when you create an account on some website, you get few validations, like your name should be between this much characters, or maybe your password should contain this much, one alphabet should be capital, one alphabet should be lowercase, and something like that. So once you are meeting such criteria, then only it enables you to register on that website. So such conditions are coded in the backend. This may be like poor example that I can give, but there are like advanced examples that are there where we see that we see in daily life, but we don't like focus like how it was created in the backend. So these are some of the programs that are actually written in the backend using few other languages other than Python, maybe Java, JavaScript, Ruby, Perl. It can be any language, but the basic concept, or the, you can say, basic ideas or the logics that are there are quite same. So coming to this question, any doubt in this question? Because there are multiple conditions that we have defined in this question. Okay. Moving ahead, let's check few other things using if else conditions. So we have some names in this list. So this is why it is a list, because we have defined it under square brackets. So square brackets basically creates a list, circular brackets creates a tuple, and curly braces creates a set, and within curly braces, if we define key value pairs, that creates a dictionary for us. And then we are using input function to take the user's name. Then we are checking if the name exists in the names list. What is this? Can anyone tell me which operator is this? We discussed 7 categories. In which category this in operator and not in operator lies? Anyone in the group?
Membership operator.
Yeah, that is right. Perfect. So these are membership operators that we discussed. Basically, it helps us to check if certain values are existing in a collection or not. Collection can be a set, collection can be a tuple, or it can be a list. So right now we have a list which is names, and they basically whatever user inputs their name, we are checking if their name exists in this list or not. If it exists, then we are printing welcome your name to the nightclub. Else, if your name not in names, which means maybe this is a guest list that they have in the nightclub, so it will print your name is not in guest list, go home. Okay, let's check something. Maybe I'm writing my name, even if my name is there in guest list, I'm writing it as small case. You can see k is small, so it will not match. It should be exact value that is there in the list. So right now we don't know methods how to treat such scenarios where user can enter any value, be it in small, be it in capital letters. As a programmer, I should know how to treat that. So right now I'm not introducing such scenarios where I can deal with such cases, but we will just take the plain cases for now. I'm entering it. You can see your name is not in the guest list, go home. Why? Because in Kashish, K is small and here K is capital. That's why it is not matching. But let's try one more time. I'm entering now capital K and enter. Now you can see welcome to the nightclub. Similarly, we can just try another names. It will not process because name is not there in the list. So this is how you can think about some practical examples that we face every day and maybe code it in Python, make it complex, use the learning that we had in last 5 sessions and share your maybe code in the group. Maybe that way group will be motivated to like practice and maybe share some their examples also. Okay, so now let's take one more example. Instead of creating a list variable, what we did here, we created a list variable specifically. It definitely took some memory, but we can definitely give a list directly to the if condition. How? Let's see. If name, we have again taken a name as input, and then we are checking if name exists in this list. It doesn't require to create a list, but yes, it totally depends upon the requirements. So if there is a list in the database, that's need to be defined. But if we are checking something on the fly that doesn't need to be stored, we can define it something like this. So other program, like rest of the program is completely same. So I'm not explaining it again, but I can just execute. You can see it is giving us the desired results. Okay, now let's do some gambling. Maybe some people do, and my favorite is roulette. So that's my favorite thing once I go to casino. Okay, then we are creating num as a variable and taking the input as enter your lucky number, and we are converting into integer, and then we are saying the winning number in roulette will be 16. This isn't the case once we go, but this is the hypothetical example. So if the number is equal to winning number, so this is the number that user will input. But if it is equal to the winning number, then we are printing that congrats, you are a millionaire now, but in dreams. And if the number is not equal to winning number, then we will print that you fail to become a millionaire. Maybe you have to try it again. Let's try this. Let's enter 10. You fail to become a millionaire. And if I enter the correct number, which is 16, congrats, you are a millionaire now in dreams. Okay, one or two examples more I have. This is a good example. You should focus in this example because a lot of things are there. We are taking user input, we are using conditions, multiple conditions basically. We are using complete one if else block. We are using f string, we are using range function, we are using some calculations. So maybe you can focus right now in this example. So first of all, we are again taking the input from the user, and there is a number defined that is a winning number in casino roulette. Okay, now once the input is there from the user, we are checking We are checking if number is equal to winning number, then we are printing congrats, you are a millionaire now. Okay. If the number is not matching, this condition will be false. It will go to elif block. Now let's see what it is doing. We are checking, maybe I can remove this int function because I have included here, right? So this is optional. You can ignore this and this. Okay. So if elif, if int of number, if number is, if you are not used int here, even if you are accepted, you have accepted it as string, it will convert the number here in this step. So if the number minus winning number, suppose number is 13, the user number is 13. If number which is 13 minus winning number which is 16, so what is the answer? Minus 3. If it is in range of 0 comma 3, then you fail to become a millionaire, but you are very close to the winning number. Or maybe I can change this answer because it cannot be a range between 0 to 3. Because if I do 13 minus 16, it should give me minus 16, sorry, minus 3. So let's swap these values and write it like this. So if winning number 16 minus int of number which is 13 is in range, okay, now it should work. You fail to become a millionaire, but you are very close to winning number. But we are trying to tell user that you tried best and you are just 2 or 3 numbers away from the winning number. So you can maybe try, you can try some more attempts. You can give some more attempts. So in the next line we are writing how much you are away from the winning number. So winning number is winning number minus int of num away from your guess. Okay, now we are telling, so winning number is maybe 16 and integer of number is 13. So you are 3 numbers away from your guess. So we are printing this. Now, if we are writing, maybe I have to swap this again. Okay, now it should fine. It should be fine. I have to write it. Okay. Uh, if I'm writing num of int of num which is 13 minus winning number which is 16, it should return me minus 3. So if that is in range of this, and I hope you remember the range function that it give us the values from like specific. If I want to explain this range, it will start the value from 0, then it will go to 1, 2, and it will exclude the 3 because it doesn't include the stop value. Similarly here, it will start from minus 3, it will go to minus 2, minus 1, and it will exclude 0. So here, if this condition is true, we will print the same message and we will print winning number is this away from your guess. And maybe we can swap it. And finally, if these conditions are not meeting the criteria, we will print you are wasting your time in casino, better go home. Let's try this. Maybe I can enter 14. You can see winning number is 2 away from your guess. And if I am entering 19 or 18, it is not working. Let me run it again. Okay, now it is saying winning number is 2 away from your guess. And if I enter 19, winning number is 3 away from your guess. So you can create some these kind of applications using some programs. Again, think about the logics that you see every day in your life and try to implement that in this kind of code. And the last example for today is, if I want to take the input from the user and we are writing share your name, age, and designation separated by comma. So we are specifically giving the user as a command that you should enter your name, age, and designation separated by comma. Now it's their choice. If they enter, it will process. Otherwise, it will throw an error. In this case, let's try. Maybe I can write k comma maybe 10 comma a. Suppose a is a designation, or maybe we can write manager. So this is the input, but you can see it has given us the value error, which says too many values to unpack, expected 3. So user has entered the value separated by comma, but this is not sufficient to store all of these 3 values in 3 different variables. Basically, it is creating a tuple if we are using input function here and entering 3 values, or maybe it is creating a string, but to unpack these values and to store in 3 different variables, we have to use a method which is known as split, which can be seen here. So the input that the user is sharing will be splitted by comma. So it will basically split into 3 parts. And so this will be a string. Then string is being split into 3 parts into name, age, and designation. Then each value will be stored into these respective variables. But in this case, age will be a string, since we are not converting the age into integer. And then we are checking if int of age is greater than equal to 18 and designation in manager or director or consultant, then we can say welcome to this meeting and the name, else you are not eligible to attend this meeting. Let's run this, and maybe I can enter ABC is the name, then comma, then what we need to enter, age, maybe 10, and comma, designation is manager. Now you should be you should give the arguments as per the given list. If the manager is in smaller case, here in the input, it will not work. Let me run this. So it should print you are not eligible to attend this meeting. There might be some process which is taking the complete memory of my laptop today. That's why this kernel is running very slow. Okay, maybe you can try this output yourself once you practice, and just put the question if you have in the chat. And this is all for today's session. Anything you want to ask, or any question from today's session, from any example, or maybe any concept, maybe from last 5 sessions. And tomorrow we are going to discuss loops, which is again very important concept. I basically wanted to start this, but today we can't. We will discuss it today, tomorrow. And now it is the time for you to practice. So I will be giving you few questions to practice on if else, and tomorrow I will be giving some questions on for loop after the session. And maybe next weekend we can skip the classes for you to practice this if else and for loop, because if you do not practice if else and for loop, maybe there is no um, there is no way to attend further sessions. You will not get anything if you don't know how to use if else and for loops. So any questions for now? I will be sharing the exercise in few minutes.
I'm good.
Okay. No question from anyone. Okay.
By the way, the manager was underage. That's why he didn't print it.
Okay. All right.
On that note, have a good night, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone. Bye. Good night.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. Good night.